place where Christ meets self-love, self-care, and healing. So, I just finished doing a workout. I did a 2 mile walk, which I had to slow down the pace because, I'm expecting. So, I had to make sure that I was being gentle with my body and not just putting too much pressure on myself. And then I did a leg workout. So it's so funny because I know I got that scrambled brain thing going on right now. So I'm trying to stay focused. So today's video is going to be on anxiety. And if you want to learn more about how to deal with it, how to be able to make your way through that in 2026, then stay tuned because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay, so earlier today, I was really, well, let's start from yesterday. Yesterday, I was really going through it. Like, you can call it hormones, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but I was really feeling some type of way. And I was real with God. I was like, God, listen, I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm really not feeling it. And I was like, this is what's happening. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I thought life was going to look like. This is what I thought I would do. This is what I thought I would be. And I went through all the things that I thought was going to happen in my life without checking with God first. And it's so funny because a lot of the times the anxiety that we get is because we have an expectation for things in our lives that God never told us was for us in the first place. We say we're going to get married at 25. We say we're going to have such and such amount of kids. We say that we're going to be in this career. We're going to do this thing with our lives. But did you pray on it? Did you say, God, is this what you truly want for my life? Did you say, okay, these are the things I want to happen in life, or I would love to have a certain amount of kids at this age, or be married at 25, or whatever your thing is. But God, if it's your will, whatever is your will, let it happen. And that's a hard prayer to pray because you really got to release all control. We are not in control anyways. We be acting like we really got all the control. We'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this way. And then life has other plans. And it does not go the way that you intended for it to go. But with God, God's plans are always intentional. God always is strategic with the plans that He has for our lives. He does not get us to go through a Job season or get us to go through a storm or trials or tribulations just so that we can be a hot mess. He has us go through those things to strengthen and build us. He has us go through those things because He knows that we have more in us than what it is that we're putting out. And sometimes we can be so. I used to, when I was in school, I really used to give the bare minimum effort. I didn't feel like I could be that smart and I just didn't want to put forth any effort in class. And I'm being real on this video and I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, of course, I love everyone and I want everyone to succeed. But it's really important in the kingdom to be honest, to be truthful, because the truth will set you free. I'm not saying I share every single thing with every person in my life. You have to know what position people belong in your life. But, and it is important that you know my authentic opinion on things. And I get that from experience. So when I say that I didn't believe that I was smart enough to get better grades, so I just didn't put forth any effort, there's going to be someone out there who looks at the people online or people in their life who pretend like they have it all together and they're going to think, well, I can't relate to anybody because everybody's got it all together. Listen, the only one that's perfect is God. So I'm going to be the first to say that on these videos, and I might not get a lot of clicks. I might not get a lot of likes. There might not be 100 people on this channel, but I will be honest. That's one thing that you will absolutely be able to count on. And I don't mean everything that I say is going to be 100% perfect. I mean that I'm going to be real with you. So I really just didn't put forth any effort because I didn't believe that I could do better than that. God always knew that I could do better, and it's so funny. I was pregnant with my daughter at the time, and I was taking classes. I was going to school online. I was taking online classes instead of going to the campus. And the first semester, I got president's list. I had a 4.0 GPA when I applied myself. And that goes to show you that in life, when you really want something, when something is truly for you, when you really put forth intentional effort, you can really do things that amaze you, things that you didn't even expect that you could do in your life. And it's important for you to believe in yourself, because God has so much more for you, because there's so much more in you than you give yourself credit for. Sometimes we have so many people telling us who they want us to be in life that we forget who God says that we are. We forget that there's more in us than what we put out. We forget that we really can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Not just a little bit of things, not just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And it's so funny because as soon as you start to get right with God and you start to go to Bible study every week, church every Sunday, you start to really, and it's not just about attendance, it's about really being intentional with your relationship with God. When you really, really feel in your heart and your soul, when you're really opening up yourself for God, that's when the adversary comes in and he's like, oh, you gotta be quicker than that. He's like, oh, you thought that you were going to get that dollar bill hanging on that fishing line, but really, what you're about to grab for is deception. What you're about to grab for is the distraction. The adversary is so good at planting distractions in the place of our destiny, and we don't see it because we don't know what God says that we are. We don't know God's characteristics and His traits, and it's so funny. I was praying this morning. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning. I was gonna sleep in, but when the spirit wakes you up, I can't be like, "Oh, hold on, God, let me go back to sleep. I got 5 more minutes." I've done that in the past, but today I did not do that. I got up and I was like, "Okay, Jesus, what you need?" And so I got up and I read the Bible and I spent some time with God. And God was really getting on me about my attitude yesterday. Like, I wasn't really feeling down in the dumps for no reason but the adversary. And it was because I was really truly connecting with God. That was the first day I really sat there and meditated on the word in a long time. Like, I've read the word and I've been studying scripture, but I hadn't sat there and waited for God's response. See, sometimes you can feel like you have a relationship with God because you're doing the checklist things. You're attending church every Sunday. Check. You're reading the Bible every Wednesday for Bible study. Check. And you are reading your word every day. Check. You didn't even pull something from the lesson. You didn't ask God to show you what it is that He wanted you to learn in that lesson, but you are so ready to check off something on a list that you didn't ask God what His intention was for you from that word. God wrote this word intentionally because He wants to be able to tell you what it is that He needs you to do in life. He's trying to help you. He's not just doing it because He wants to take 5 minutes of your day up. He's doing it because He really wants you to know what His desires are for your life. And when you really get intentional, when you really sit and meditate with God, when you really read the word and say, okay, God, what is it that you want to show me in this thing? Not just asking God like a genie in a bottle, all the things that you want for your life, but really sitting and listening to what it is that God truly wants for you in your life. Now that's when God really starts to work. And I did that yesterday. I hadn't done it in a while because I've been so rushed. I've been so busy trying to accomplish things in life that God never intended for me in the first place. That I wasn't being intentional about my relationship with God. I I would read it and I'd be like, oh, okay, I got this fact from it. But I didn't get the depths. Like, when you really meditate on the word, God can show you things that you don't even see. I think one pastor calls it hermeneutics or something like that. But it's really important for you to really listen and understand what it is that God is trying to say to you. And as I'm reading the word this morning, I'm reading Genesis, I believe it was 28. And Jacob had went out of his way. Like, the Esau, so Abraham had sons. There was Isaac, Jacob, Esau. And Jacob had there we go. We're back. I don't know what part you caught last, but The brother was trying to take out the other brother. He was just like, okay, you done stole my inheritance. Even though he wanted to give it up for some stew, he was like, oh no, you want to take my inheritance? I'm going to set out to get rid of him. So his mom, Rebecca, went and told them, and she was like, listen, I need you to go to another land and just stay away until your brother can calm down and get over this need to try to get rid of you. And even though he was so wrong, he went and prayed to God. He laid on a rock. He poured oil on a rock and laid on it. And the rock is foundation. Just by the way, he's laying on this rock. And he's like, God, give me whatever it is that you desire for me, as long as it benefits me. And his prayer was so selfish. But even in his selfishness, even in his disobedience, even in his attitude, even in his sneakiness, even in his fleshly ways, God still decided to bless him. That's how good God's grace is. And sometimes what we do for ourselves is we like to beat up on ourselves when God has already forgiven us. We like to hold on to the things that we did wrong, the deceit, the deception, the wrong decisions that we made, and mistakes that or missteps that we made in life, that God has already said, I've forgiven you as far as the east is to the west, to the depths of the sea. But we're holding on to those things, and the adversary keeps replaying it in our minds, making us think that God is unforgiving, and he's not. God's forgiveness is so much better than any human being in this entire world. God is more than just what you expected from someone that didn't come through for you. God always comes through. God always keeps his promises. And if you remember that, it will help you with your anxiety. If you remember that he is who he said he is, that he will be Jehovah, whatever you need him to be. He'll be Jehovah Jireh, your provider. He'll be Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace. He will be Elohim. He will be God. What God is with us. God will be whatever you need him to be in your life at whatever time you need him to be. He'll be the God that fights battles. He'll be the banner. He'll protect you. He will do whatever it is, whatever it is that you need in your life in that moment. And sometimes we try to be God. We try to be the one protecting ourselves. We try to be, and it's nothing wrong with learning self-defense or anything along those lines. I'm saying that we try to take God's position and saying that we're going to do all of these things for our lives that God never intended for us to do. Oh God, I'm about to go out and start this church. Did God tell you to start a church, or did he tell you to go serve at a church because he needs you to learn how church runs before he even puts you in a position to open a church? You're like, God, I'm going to go marry this man. He's a good man, but he's not a God man. Did God assign that man to you, and are you even ready for him? Like you so ready for the pictures because it looks cute online, but are you really ready to serve someone else? Are you really ready to seek understanding in a relationship when you don't understand why someone or when someone is doing something in their life? Are you ready to give them the benefit of the doubt and not just think they're like your exes? Are you really ready to respect this man no matter what? In the Bible it says, women, respect your man above all else. Are you ready to do that? Because if you're not ready for that, you're not ready to be in no type of relationship. You're not ready for marriage. You're not ready for any of the things that you're praying to God for. Ask God to work on the inside of you to prepare you for the things that you desire in your life. And ask God if that's what he even desires for you in your life. Before you get all upset, before you get altitude, before you start snapping your neck and doing the clicking of the fingers, really check with God and say, God, is this truly what you want for my life? God, I know this is what I desire. I know I desire marriage. I know I'm having a lonely moment. I am alone, all in one. But God, I know that I have moments where I feel lonely and maybe I'm desiring someone, but is that truly what you want for me in my life? Do you truly want me to be with a partner? Do you really have an assignment for us? Do you want me to be sub to this mission? Can I be sub to this person's mission? Like, it might be cute. You might say, oh, he cute, he got good hair, or whatever else good hair is. Good hair is what you take care of, right? Because the grass is green where you water it. But you say if you want to be with this guy because he look better than you done ever seen. He the best thing since sliced bread, but can you submit to him? And if your answer is no, he's not the one. This woman is super bad. She looked fine. I mean, she got More curves than a highway. I know that's old school saying, but listen, it still works in this thing. And she might look like the baddest thing you'd have ever seen walk out the face of this earth. But can she handle and be understanding with you? Can she respect you at all cost? Like it says in the Bible. And if the answer is no, then you got to move on. You have to really pray to God for the desires that you have and ask him to have his will in your life. And ask him to give you the ability, the contentment, the peace to let go of the things that don't align with his will. And that is how you get rid of your anxiety. When you let go of the things that are holding on to you that have absolutely nothing to do with God. God did not say that you were going to do that. He did not give you a promise that he will not keep. So if, and you got to double check that it's God. You can't just say, oh, I want a man. So I see a man on somebody's tags driving down the street. So that means God's telling me I'm going to get a man. Like, no. You have to pray, spend time with God, meditate on the word, and really, really seek to listen to him. Say, God, this is what I desire, but what is it that you truly desire for me? Do you really want me to be married? Do you want me to be single serving? Like, I can serve while I'm married, but do you want me to be single and serving my life? How do you want my life to look? God, is this what you desire from me? And let God lead you, and you're going to be just fine. I know sometimes it feels like the world is crashing down on you. Like it's just so heavy. Like you have so many responsibilities. You got so many hats. You're doing so many things. You're giving so much to so many other people. But listen, give that attention to God. Give that attention to yourself. God first and then yourself. And I promise you will be okay. I promise everything will work out. All things are working together for the good of those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. God will never leave you nor forsake you. God is a good God. He is not like that guy that hurt you. He is not like that parent that abandoned you. God is a father to the fatherless, a mother to the motherless. Every time I talk about God, sometimes I get emotional. Sorry. But listen, God is so good. He will never leave you nor forsake you. God's plans are, God has plans to prosper you in your life, not to hurt you, to give you hope and a future. God did not give you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of sound mind, not anxiety. So let it go. Let go and let God. I know it's cliche, but seriously, just let it go. You keep holding on to these things that God has already told you to let go of. And it's a whole new year. I don't know where you are in this year when you watch this video, but wherever you are in the year, wherever you are in your life, you have come way too far. God has brought you way too far to leave you right now. When you are in his hand, he will never release you. So you don't have to worry about doing something to disappoint God. Really just turn away, repent from the sin, and move on with your life. You're the only one holding on to it. And release the anxiety. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing, magnificent, incredible Saturday. And remember to focus on God and to love yourself. Bye.